And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in our Shadow Empire run on the map provided by the community. We're picking up at the bottom around 91. We have one decision awaiting us, as well as a bunch of troop movement. Okay, we did get the meritocracy we promised. Got private investment, play, and as I suspected, we didn't win the auction. Would have been a bit. They want to buy our IP. I'm probably better off accepting this, and then we can turn around and we can do improvised IP to regenerate.
Order received. Order received.
Okay. So that's all the cards for the turn. Get the tanks, or get the tank in position for whatever we're on to next turn. We can get the armored car. The armored car is running a little bit farther behind. But right now my plan, I think, is we're going to attack these guys. Push until the two infantry here are here and here. And then by then, the other infantry should have arrived. And we'll push the other side. We got a decent amount of currency. Let's go ahead and call up the slave trader, get the population. So the farm is done. We'll see if it's going to provide enough food next turn. We're probably going to have a worker issue next turn, to be fair. Because it just fired a bunch of workers that they didn't need it to work the farm, but now that the farm is complete, it's going to need workers. So it's going to have to turn around and hire them again, because that's how the system works sometimes. Yep. Be the plan. We don't need very many bullets because we didn't shoot very much last turn. We'll buy some.
We'll go.
We'll build some. And then we should be good to go. So we're going to cycle the turn again, working our way through the tech tree. And yeah, I think sealed roads will be done next turn, although we're not going to have the industry to really implement it right away. We'll probably pop over to Ammo Factory, because I don't have the high-tech parts to do the deep core and the heavy industry back-to-back. Or not the deep, the volcanic tapping back-to-back. In fact, I don't have the industry to get up in the mountain either, but one step at a time. Up the volcano. Yep, cycle the turn. Okay, looked like the AI Sentinels did take a swing at us, although didn't seem to have done anything. The new improved troops are decently tough. Although we didn't do anything to them, right? This is the reason we're gonna have to ring a proper anti-tank weapon down to deal with the AI at some point. Because otherwise, well, at this point we're basically hitting each other with nerf pads. Just, you know, we'd like to actually do some damage at some point. And they've got no toughness to them is probably a good way to describe it. Right? They've got one subunit, so if you can damage the subunit, then they go up. The problem here is we can't damage them, and now we're tough enough that we're not getting damaged, so both sides are hitting each other with nerf pads. We'd like to fix that, but it's lower on the priority to moving on the front where we can actually make progress. I'm a little worried also because it looks like there are high mountains down there that our current anti-tank weapons aren't going to be able to chase them to those mountains. Looks like it's about to come around to our turn again. Colossal State, round 92. We suffered no losses nor made any kills. We have 3 decisions. We've completed sealed roads, so one of the decisions are going to be what to replace sealed roads with. We have a private investment. Okay, not going to adjust this. This is working for us. We're going to wait for these costs to come down. Yeah, we're going to wait until the costs to come down. If I had the high-tech parts, we do heavy industry. Got geotectonics? That's geotectonics again. Oh, that's tempting. On the other hand, it's a 4,000 BP cost tech. So it's 10 times more expensive than picking up ammunition factories. It's twice as expensive as heavy industry in BP. So I should probably do ammo factory, heavy industry. Some of these discoveries are coming from the fact I think we may have... I forget what the deals we have with one of the majors. Yeah, we're gonna do ammo factory here.
Received.
Not gonna throttle up the high tech cost thing right now. We need to get some of the basic techs complete. The trade wise, yeah, we've got research cooperation with the guys in the south, so that's helping us with discoveries. We get some of their discoveries for free, effectively. It'd be better if we actually had the armored car involved, but firepower, I think something's gonna make the difference here. Yeah.
All clear, sir.
And then we hit that one, and then we hit that one, and then we go over the other flank. You're coming up as well. You're coming up as well. You're in the spot. Interesting. Oh, that works. There we go. So technically that's a land hex. There is still technically a way around our flank there, but I think we're good enough until we raise at least the next brigade. Okay, hopefully that's not too much of a strain on the logistics. So workers are hiring up to provide foods. We're food positive. We're actually water negative. Interesting. We got a big water reserve, so I'm not going to panic about that. Yeah. Now that we got the farm going, we're water negative. I suppose we could always set up the water mine if we're desperate for more water, so we're not in a rush to fix that, but when we do decide to fix that, we have a solution. Yep. Assuming those units successfully disband, we'll have enough troops that we can go ahead and raise another brigade next turn, which is what we'll do. Private investment.
Order received.
Part of the hope of putting in private investment in is that our citizens will decide to spend that money, and because we have sales tax, we get to collect that money as income. Let's middle merit the governor. Oh, he already has the middle merit. Can't middle merit him twice. We're not allowed to turn people into the into Russian generals where they've basically got armor that's made out of metals in their chest.
Wilco.
Okay. Could use some more money. What's metal going for right now? Yeah, still like 400 metal.
Wilco.
Must have changed how qual versus national civilization level works. So, our civilization level, because of our bureaucracy, is pretty high. Right, we're working at Civ 6, about. So they want more civilization quality of life. It should actually be rising. They just, we just got the security asset points. That makes sense. So, or at least it's implying we just got the security asset points. So that qual should be going up. Yeah, that should be trending up. So that's making the workers unhappy. Otherwise, the workers would be happy. Okay, I think we're in a place to cycle the turn. Anyway, it's going to be slow going for a bit, but we are going to start expanding northward. Well, I suppose I had the industry to build the road for the volcanic energy happening. looks like it's probably going to come up on our turn soon. Once again, the robots attacked us, and I think once again the robots didn't do any damage. Yeah. Yeah, should shortly be our turn. Colossal State, round 93. We have 2 decisions winning us. And we did finish combat armor.
Understood.
And then we should probably follow up with the gun upgrade. Gauss small arms. Although RPG and... well, RPG would be temporary as well.
that.
Okay. So the subunits inside have basically finished disbanding at this point. Units in process of disbanding, yeah. So these units should disappear shortly. Let's make sure that everyone is upgraded to the modern model.
Wilco.
Here we go. And then let's raise a formation here. Using 100% of SHQ troops, all the types. There we go. Oh, that definitely needs to be a different color. It's not going to be next to the other one that's purplish, but... no, that's going to be too much close to the ground. Green? Let's go with green. We're going to basically be deploying this one down here. These are going to get added to it as well. And the point, really, that one's probably not going to be fighting for a bit. We're basically using that so we can push down and right with the first and the third as it gets into the spot. Interesting. You could attack there, but we really want to attack you.
All clear, sir.
Enemy unit routed. Pretty heavily damaged. And yeah, we could attack here. Theory with some pretty good odds. We'll take this fight.
All clear,
And this is a situation where we should be able to see our armor rolls. Here we go. So we can see the caliber matrix modifier here. It's coming up at 56%. So I can even do a little bit of math to check that the modifier appears like it should be. Because in theory this should be a 60% modifier. Do a bit of calculation here. So 2 divided by 0.9 inverted. One time when my calculator doesn't want to go into scientific mode. Go. Okay, so I sort of see where that number's coming from. So it's doing the inverse of that to generate that number. The modifier should technically be a reduction of like 6%. I suspect it might be a reduction actually up here. It might just be the way the modifiers are zoning. Okay. There's going to swap the position of the inventory. Okay. So then the armored vehicles will come back over to this side, and we'll start attacking rightward. Nocturnal Rock here is... what's the modifier? Ooh, Zone Pop. That would actually be a nice one to pick up. That would basically be another 100 people a turn. And then the GR Center's research. And we looked at here earlier, the folk mines are colonists. So it's another 100 colonists. So out of the 3 assets, or perks that we see nearby, these 2 are the really nice ones that we'd like to pick up. And then we might stop expanding northward for a moment. Yeah, we might stop expanding northward for a moment and focus on going south. Get the border with these guys. Sadly, they've got to the shelter. Although, maybe if we get lucky, they'd lose that then online and we'd take that back. We'd like that shelter. The shelter would be nice. I think there's another one. Something like that around here. Memory serves. Yes, water is going down. Again, I'm not going to solve that right now. Dirt road up the volcano. And then energy-wise, volcanic energy is 150. Of course, we've got everything there. Okay. So we're producing enough. This should be a much better power source than organic. And in practice, this is going to save us a lot of rare earth metals. Right, this would be the equivalent of basically solar power level 3 for us, which is 200, 500, 900 rare earth metals worth of rare earth metals alone. Less machine parts. Okay, we're paying some high tech parts, but every once in a while you can find a few on the market. So yeah, we're going to start that construction. Oh, and that's going to eat more water too.
Copy that.
So as we get more industry, we'll probably want to set the water mine up. It's a deep enough water mine. Except that it's quite thirsty. Yes, as Twitch chat just said, it is a thirsty consumer. But we can get an ice mine set up. The ice mine is going to produce like 600 something water, which is going to both meet our water shortage from the farm and the water shortage from the volcanic energy. Okay. Any prospecting yet? Nope. And then Equal Council. This rate, we're going to pick up the ammunition factory in 2 turns. And we just finished combat armor and moved on to the gun. Yeah, so once the gun's done, we'll probably... It's probably a little early to do the infantry upgrade, actually. Yeah, we haven't quite finished shield testing the last one. We'll probably do the machine gun first, and then we'll go back to the infantry. Just skip a generation on the machine gun, basically. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Now, you'd imagine on a planet that's so wet that we have visible rivers, that we'd have plenty of water. And apparently that is not the case. The water here, coming from the rain, is apparently pretty bad. We're actually going to have to mine some water. Okay, coming back up on our turn. Bottom run 94, we got 2 decisions. Let's click through that a bit fast. Let's give that a go. Price of egoism. Got a private investment. Bronze retirement, okay. And of course we're building too much at the same time. And I'm out of bullets. I forgot to make enough bullets. Or, well, shipped too many. Both are kind of the same result in practice. What do we got for decisions? We're getting praised. Okay, we'll take the one that gives us less of the stats we don't want.
Roger that.
Command for the 12th. And with the Cap 5 in charge, or the Cap 2, we're going to put the Cap 2.
Affirmative.
So I'm going to hold on to the Cap 5.
Order received.
And of course, the units that were, fighting in the previous turn are the units that need the bullet the most. Okay. We're not necessarily going to be shooting anything this turn, so I think we're good. Okay, strategic capacity at that point. Look at those guys moved into position. We can pull you back up the road. And then as these guys filter into position, we can move red either... Well, probably rightward. Because until we have the industry to build the road out into the hills here, we're not making any progress that way. And easily accessible assets that we want is the mine. The Hulk mine where we're going to get the colonists. Slowly rising. Yeah, otherwise I think we're good here. Yeah, go for an improvised IP. Where do we make some bullets? How much industry do I need for this? More than I've got in the stockpile. In theory, we're making enough that I could run off of what's being produced, but let's not assume that. Okay. In which case, we're just going to cycle a turn, I think. Lack of ammunition be damned. Now, of course, I'm looking at the time. We're going to play one more turn, but we're not going to play one more end turn. I should probably make moves to call it for the night as we're coming up on 2 a.m. So we're going to watch the end turn here, and then as we frequently do at the end of streams, we're going to play one last turn, but not end the turn. What we'll do is we'll save at the end of the turn. So we'll basically pick up where we left off at the end of a turn. Not necessarily expecting to see anything right now. Although we might get attacked by... Again, we might get attacked by the slavers, we might get attacked by the robots. And I so need more industry so we can seal the roads. But that's also a chicken and egg problem. I need the industry to seal the roads, but I want the industry... Or I want the sealed roads so that we have the capacity to do things besides industry. Okay, should be our turn soon. We are going to play out this upcoming turn. Here we go. Round 95. We got 4 decisions to deal with, as well as a bunch of troop movement. Ammunition factory is researched. And we've completed the artillery. And discovered a new oob. Got an investor backing card, which is nice. We're going to go the commerce one here. I think that's the one most likely to be achieved without breaking the economy in the process.
Sir, yes, sir.
Deep core mining has been discovered. I don't think we need petrol that bad, otherwise we might be tempted to do that. But no, I think we're going to take heavy industry.
Order received.
We're gonna, what, tech-wise? Do we wait for Gauss small arms? Yeah, probably wait for Gauss small arms. So we do new orders. Okay, one enemy there. Ah, we lost one of the tanks.
All clear, sir.
The only casualty. One of the expensive tanks. Yeah. Probably want to wait until we get action points back. That's the next hex we're attacking. And we'll buy some ammo, although... Yeah, our industry went up like 74 points, so we can probably splurge and get some ammo.
Wilco.
Hiring up. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's looking so terribly because it wanted ammo and we didn't have any ammo for it. Fair enough. Yeah, work on you. Which is mostly construction workers, I think, being an issue. Okay, so there's maybe an argument we want to be raising worker happiness because we're having issues with that. Okay, so let's call you up.
Standing by for orders.
Copy that. Copy that.
+6. Okay, that didn't have the effect I wanted. It's gonna help, but it didn't have the effect I wanted. Okay, so I think this is, unless we've got some cards we're going to play, where we're going to basically end turn. We're going to go over some of the stats before we go and end it, the day. Get the investor backing down.
Copy that.
So, we got word score up to 90, so that's pretty good. Tech score is rising. Civilization level is actually dropping, apparently. Surprised at that. Oh, it should be improving. Credits went over the turn, presumably because of sales tax. Yeah. Got that pending demand, which is get 2 more private assets. But yeah, it's plausible. It's not necessarily something we directly control. It's the biggest problem with that. Nothing to prospect. Victory overview. We are still in 8th. Our planetary control hasn't increased very much, although we're now at the point where we're thinking that's going to be reliably increasing turn over turn. And we're not last in population. We're second last in population, but we're not last. So if we can get more planet going, and we can get a way to grow the population, we should start shooting up, is the plan. Anyway, so that's a source of population, that's a source of population. We'd like to take both of those. And then as far as technology is concerned, this is where we are technology-wise. We got volcanic energy tapping, we got combat armor, we're working on Gauss small arms. It just queued up heavy industry. Yeah, okay. We'll probably, after we get Gauss and heavy industry, be trying to look for techs in chemistry so we can make the swing over to metal soil filtration. We do want metal soil filtration so that we can have a source of rare earth metals, as heavy industry and eventually a high-tech industry is going to require heavy metals to operate, or the rare earth metals to operate. Yeah, and we just need industry. So at some point I'm going to have to find a way to get all the industries to work with non-existent population, which is the sort of fun struggle we're dealing with. I suppose let's go ahead and pick up a little bit more population.
Copy that.
That's one way to slowly grow population turn over turn. Although we need to wait for the zone happiness to recover between turns where we do that. And yeah, I think this is where we're going to go ahead and end it for the moment. Basically the end of round 95. If you're watching on YouTube, there will likely be a part up tomorrow for you, assuming nothing comes up with streaming. On the other hand, I will be dog sitting coming this upcoming Thursday, and that means if anything is to come up that's going to delay it, that's probably going to be the thing that delays it. So there may be a delay. Hopefully we're recorded far enough ahead that if you're watching this on YouTube, there won't be a delay, and there will be a part up for you tomorrow. For Twitch, the upcoming schedule is that tomorrow we're going to stream Xenonauts. The day after that, we're going to stream Strategic Command, World War I, the Cold Arms campaign. And then Thursday, which is the day that I should start having to do dog watching. If we have a stream, and it may be late, or it may be being a bit funky or whatever, that should be Shadow Empire. If we don't have a stream on Thursday, then the next stream after Thursday will be the Shadow Empire stream. And yeah, that's the upcoming plan. We'll see how well that happens. With that, if you have any comments and you want them responded to, this is the last chance to get them responded to on Twitch. So if you want, I'll leave the stream up for about a minute after we do the outro. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to see anything in the game, I am saving all the autosaves and the saves at the end of streams. So if there's anything in the reports you want to see that I have not brought up, feel free to let me know, and I can go ahead and bring it up for you. For example, I tend not to go into the letterbox. I don't really look at the zone overviews. There's a bunch of stuff that you may be interested in seeing that I don't regularly bring up. If there's something you want to see, feel free to let me know. We completed artillery, although we're going to wait until the next military one is done. That one's likely to be done... It's 5% to turn. We got 85% to go. So 17 turns? Let's say 17, 18 turns, this will be done. And then we'll basically do a pass on the machine guns and the infantry. ammunition's done, and we just slot something in there. I think it was heavy industry. That's basically where we are in the game. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.